And here we go, another week of avoiding legal snags, and we are live. We're live, pal.
All right, let's hit that red button. 1, 2, 3. And welcome everybody to the show that keeps wrestling real. This is Rant with Dan. I'm your host, the King of Talk Style, Anthony DeStefano, and with me, as always, are my two amigos. We're gonna be called Migos, Bad and Bougie.
Nope.
Yep, Phil's bad, Issa's bougie.
And you're and?
And I'm Ant. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm just me. Offset! I'm the guy that just goes, yeah.
I don't get any of these references because I don't listen to them.
You know that song, Bad and Bougie. Don't try to act like
I know of it, like,
listen,
parodies,
I'll yell
like YouTube
at you on
parodies.
Twitter.
Can't do that no more. Yeah, you dab.
Yeah, Dab.
Hey, chat, can I get an F for respect?
Exactly.
F.
So this week, I don't know. I didn't feel like this week was like huge in pro wrestling.
SmackDown was phenomenal.
SmackDown is always great. Mustafa Ali's eyes fucked
Still don't
up.
look.
That's what you get when you're fighting Randy Orton. He needs to go back to fighting people his size.
Yeah, Randy Orton's fighting his WWE. Randy Orton's fighting his WWE contract.
Like an hour and a half long with commercials, and they utilize every single woman on their roster.
Because they're
except for the champion.
Well, because nobody likes her. Spoiler alert.
I like her. I just don't think she has a character.
Champion.
I just don't think she has a character. Yeah, well, Randy Orton's looking at AEW, including the dirt sheets.
God, I think Randy Orton's trying to start a family.
I think every week.
If he keeps popping kids out, this is enough.
It's like someone's either starting a family or leaving for AEW.
Listen, Randy Orton looks like he looks, and he dates a Puerto Rican woman who's very attractive. So guess what? A lot of babies are going to be made in this situation.
They actually only have one together. It's just a combination of their babies.
That's a beautiful, beautiful duo right there. They should definitely make more babies.
They will.
And
because
hopefully
he's going to AEW.
Yeah, he's going to all elite woman.
Listen, I can't wait for the Superstar Shakeup to happen in April, like they just announced before we went live, and it's actually not going to be Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be WWE and AEW.
AEW.
Yeah. I can't wait for fucking Joey Janela to show up on Raw, you know?
I'm excited because we're recording early tonight so we can watch the All Elite Wrestling press conference about their ticket thing. I'm hoping to see Kenny Omega. I mean, it's to the point we have enough news this week that there is a new episode of E is for Elite coming out this weekend because there is signings and stuff to talk about. Like I said, that's going to be periodic until, shit kicks off. And I think shit's going to start hitting the fan very soon because I think they're going to announce a TV deal very soon as well. But we're here to talk about WWE. And we're here to talk about the hottest thing going, and that is The Man. But there has been discussion, and I actually want to get in on this discussion because Issa shared it. Is the blind love for Becky Lynch turning into blind hate for Ronda Rousey? I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to say no. It's not blind hate. It's what we talked about last week. It's greatness hate. People hate when people are great. Look at the memes about Tom Brady this week. Look at the memes about, LeBron James. People hate when people are great because they're not. People like mediocre. People like average. People like, oh, that guy, I can relate to him. I can't relate to Tom Brady. I don't win Super Bowls. I don't have a Brazilian supermodel wife, and I can't wear Uggs. It's greatness hate. It is fucking greatness.
Do you make out with your kids?
No, that's
okay.
Weird. But
so
I also
definitely cannot relate to him.
I can't relate to that either. But do you get what I'm saying? It's like us as a society, people now like to watch people play video games on Twitch, and it's living through other people's successes, but you don't want them to be too great. You always want to be able to do that. Like if I see someone playing Madden really well, I know I can get on Madden and play it. I can't get onto a gridiron and fucking throw 4 touchdowns or whatever Tom Brady did. He didn't do it this Sunday. That Super Bowl sucked.
Nobody did anything.
No, that Super Bowl was terrible.
Can we not bring that up, please? Thank you.
Yeah, the Rams. I mean,
can we not bring it up, please? Thank you very much.
Press F for the Rams.
Yeah.
Press F for my fucking tears.
Press F for the Saints should have been there.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I mean, but over time, Tom Brady has become the greatest of all time because he won Super Bowls, because he's done this, and people are tired of it. And I think with Ronda Rousey, they're just Becky Lynch is so popular, but I think they hate Ronda Rousey because she is great. She is the best wrestler I've seen in this year span since Kurt Angle. I've never seen someone come into this business and literally just be so good at it that you take it for granted. And that's what we're doing.
That's how it is in everything now, right? And you're 100% right. If you guys want to think back to when Rousey first debuted in UFC and she was given that main event, right? People hated her. Why is she getting a main event at her first show? Why was she given the title like before there was a division? All that stuff, right? People hated her. Then she fought and people loved her, and people loved her more than anything in this world. She was everyone's favorite UFC fighter, and then she kept winning by first round submissions, and then people started to hate her. It's happened. It still happens in UFC with performers. John Jones, Anderson Silva, GSP, and
McGregor,
Brock Lesnar, McGregor. Everybody
just enjoys it. Like
that's what I'm saying. And now it also happens in pro wrestling. Rousey came out in the Rumble. People were excited to see her. We were all in the building, but people hated her until Mania. Then people loved her, and then they didn't like her anymore.
I just don't think that's what it is, because when Ronda Rousey comes out, if it doesn't have anything to do with Becky, Ronda gets one of the biggest pops in the building. It happened at Mania. It even happened at Evolution. But again, and I will bring it up, it's depending on who her opponent is. Fair. Evolution was very 50-50. The crowd was 50%
But that was shocking to me. That was shocking to me because I thought I was the only lunatic cheering for Nikki Bella.
No, the Bellas have a big following, and it's almost like a cult, right? But just to put that, like, just to put that to a perspective, every time that she comes out, she gets a pop. She got it at the Rumble when she was fighting Sasha, and then all of a sudden when they're doing the handshake, people are booing and cheering for Sasha. So it's just a matter of, I almost feel like I don't think it's a greatness hate. I feel like wrestling fans just feel guilty. Like, fuck, we like this girl, but then they remember that there's these 4 girls that were here since day one that we have loved and wanted to do so well that when she's involved with them, you go, oh, fuck, I shouldn't love her so much because these girls have been here longer.
Well,
I honestly think it's a guilt hate.
I don't even think it's thinking like that. And I'm not going to I love wrestling fans. I love our community, but I'm not going to give people that much credit. I think you're giving people way too much credit. I think people in the wrestling community like to follow trends. So if one person boos them and one city boos them, then the next city's going to boo them because it's a very copycat society when it comes to wrestling community. Why is Roman Reigns not popular? Because he got booed in Philadelphia. He wasn't getting booed before then. When he got booed at Philly for Rumble, people started booing him because it was the cool fucking thing to do. I think you're giving people too much credit. That's just my opinion.
I listen, it's fans in general, not just wrestling fans, like to follow trends. And all these people who are diehard favorite Becky Lynch tattooed on their back, where the hell were they when she wasn't doing shit for a year, right? Which is fine. You could like people on and off. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point being is, right now, it's the Daniel Bryan effect, right? That's the easiest way you could describe it. People didn't care about Daniel Bryan, and then they did. And then everyone cared about Daniel Bryan. And that's how people are with Becky Lynch right now.
Because that's what happened with Stone Cold. Which
is cool, but in the Stone Cold era.
How long do you ride this wave?
But in the Stone Cold era, there wasn't social media. Because I guarantee you, if Stone Cold happened now, people would be doing the same exact thing. And The Rock would be getting the reaction that Rousey's getting.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have anything fun. You're not allowed to have fun.
I just don't understand what the point is of admitting, and I would even make it more controversial. I wouldn't mind if Charlotte gets added to the match. And if you say that on Twitter, it's the end of the fucking world, right? But like the way that I see it is like I'm tired of people, and I'm even getting the whole you have to pick a side. No, I don't. I've loved them both since the beginning, and I can cheer for both if I want to. And I think that this week, I thought that Ronda Rousey did very well last week. I didn't understand shit she said, but that Advil and Ice bitch line, I thought it was great. And I thought that
she was like, Advil nice bitch. And I'm like, whoa, whatever you just said, Twista, slow jams. When's Kanye coming on?
Well, they need to just like remind her to slow down. But she had a speech problem when she was Ronda Rousey could not even speak until she was like 5. So they need to take that into consideration when they have her start a live promo.
Fast though. Whatever she said.
That being said, not that she's Puerto Rican or anything, but when I'm pissed off, the talking fast just goes out the window. Like I just like go off. So I also think it shows a little bit of realism behind it.
It does, and it makes you invest more. And if you are mad at her for stumbling her words, it makes you hate her. And if, like you said, if you can kind of understand where she's coming from, it makes you want to cheer for her, right? I think the whole point with this Charlotte thing is, I honestly think that if Charlotte did fight Asuka at Mania or was involved in some type of match for the SmackDown title, it's actually a step down from her, because she was in the feud with Becky, and then she had that match with Ronda, which it's still kind of a feud going on like in the background. So I think that adding Charlotte makes the most sense, and it will be the biggest women's wrestling match of all time, and it'll be a clear. It is main eventing.
Charlotte was epic this week, okay? And it was so funny because before, I've always liked Becky, but if I can tell you, and I've always said it, the person that really got me into paying attention to the women was Charlotte. So I've always liked her, but other people just kind of jump over her, right? We just talked about that. We just talked about how the trend changes, who we like, who we don't like. If I tell you my 3 favorites, it's Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda.
Yeah.
So the way that I see it is like,
since I've known you, it's been that. But I mean, Ronda wasn't in there until she debuted, but it's always been Becky, Charlotte. It's you are very consistent, and that's the thing. That's the thing I think this community lacks is consistency. And when they bitch at you for saying that you want your other favorite at it, it's like you can cheer for more than one person. And here's my point. Everyone knows my favorite 3 people are Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Money in the Bank 2016. Roman Reigns came to the ring with the belt. Seth Rollins, coming back from injury, wins the belt. I'm going berserk. Dean Ambrose cashes in, and I'm going even more berserk because all 3 of them had titles. You can cheer for more than one person. You don't have to pick sides. You can just live in the moment. But the consistency thing is what I think is the thing here is, will this be consistent for Becky Lynch? And that's my biggest fears. I think she's great. I love her. But it's making you not appreciate the Charlotte Flairs, the Ronda Rouseys.
Yeah, and that's the problem. If you really think about it, if we go back to the happy accident that was that punch in the face to Becky Lynch, everybody thought that it was going to be Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. That was the plan. And then we had to take a turn because Becky got injured, right? So how do we get there? We add Becky because nobody was counting on the popularity that Becky Lynch got to. That accident was one of the greatest things that happened to her career. And I'm glad that she is where she needs to be because I always thought that Becky Lynch should have been there, right? But Becky was supposed to have that match at Survivor Series and we were ready for it. And then it got called off. And now all of a sudden we want to remove Charlotte for the equation. The way that I see it is like, why not? Why not? Like Charlotte is the greatest in-ring, in my opinion, right now in WWE. Why wouldn't you want to add your MVP in there just to make it the most? This is going to be the biggest women wrestling match in WWE history if it closes the show. You need it to go perfect.
Here's another way to think about it for people, and we'll go WrestleMania 30. We won't go back that far. Think about how great that moment was for Daniel Bryan winning the title. Yes, he won. We were so happy, right? Would that moment have been as good if he maybe faced CM Punk or somebody that people were behind back then? I think what made that moment so good is all the bullshit that led up to that year. And then he had to beat Orton and Batista. So I get it. A lot of people are going to be upset that Charlotte's going to be added to this match if she does. But think about how much happier you will be and how much hype you will be if you are a Becky Lynch fan if Becky beats Ronda and Charlotte. And shout out to Cody Hoop for saying this. You add Charlotte, then Ronda doesn't have to take the submission or the pin. You can keep Ronda strong, and then maybe you could build to Ronda versus Becky at SummerSlam.
It's very much WrestleMania 31, where you kept Brock Lesnar from getting pinned by having Seth Rollins come in, cash in on Roman during that match, and it's like, well, here's your new champion. But this guy never lost, and this guy's still a monster, and Roman got taken, and everybody wins in this situation.
And if you're a fan of Becky Lynch being an underdog, what a better fucking underdog story than her being the chosen champion in Charlotte and the celebrity champion in Ronda. She has to beat the entire company. Everyone wants these 2 women to main event Mania, but Becky came in as the underdog and beat everybody. That's an incredible story.
Go back 6 months. If we're talking WrestleMania, everyone, I don't care what podcast you listen to, said Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey will main event WrestleMania. Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. Why do beggars have to be choosers now. We begged for Becky Lynch to be in this. We begged, we kicked, we screamed. She's in it now. Who cares if they add Charlotte?
And that's
Why are
the
you
thing,
being
right?
so choosy?
Like Becky, if we get a one-on-one, that would be great.
Yes.
Okay, but to get Becky to where she's at and to get Ronda to where she's at, it took Charlotte. So if you like, so many fucking people throw the word deserve in there all over the internet. You know what? I'm sorry, she deserves it. And when she came out on Monday and Tuesday, I was going crazy because everything that she did, I liked. And I was like, fuck, now I remember why I liked her to begin with. Her promo was great. When she started mocking Becky Lynch and doing the fake limp, and when Triple H had to talk to her literally like a dad, go backstage. This doesn't concern you. Like, if I actually thought all three people in that segment were perfect, by the way. And I again, if we get a one-on-one, it's great. If we get Charlotte added to it, it should be like a fucking bonus, like a special fucking feature that we should enjoy.
I do want to turn it because I think this discussion is really great, and I think we are finding out, a lot about the fandom of Becky Lynch. But what I can do to credit WWE is Monday and Tuesday, your best segments involved Becky Lynch. And what makes a money segment in WWF, WWE since 1996 is adding a McMahon to the mix. Anytime there's a McMahon to a mix, people want to see them get beat up. First, she sucker punched Stephanie. Then she bitch slaps Triple H. And it's like, now you are anti-establishment. Now you're anti-authority. Now you are that stone cold character everybody's compared you to. And everybody can get on board with it. Casuals, hardcores. The Becky Lynch train's going to keep rolling, and WWE has done a great job protecting her. Yes, she tapped out against Asuka. People flipped out about that. Well, that meant more to Asuka than it meant to Becky, even though Asuka hasn't been on TV since winning the belt. But Becky Lynch is just fine because you have this underdog story. You have this anti-establishment, anti-authority story that everyone's going to get behind. So credit to WWE.
And you know what I like? That when they put Stephanie McMahon in there, they made Triple H be the one that planted the seed of doubt about Becky Lynch. It wasn't Stephanie. Stephanie wasn't being a bitch. Stephanie was trying to reason with the man. She was trying to tell her, this is the biggest match. We need it. All you need to do is go see a doctor. So if you go back to the way that they did it, Stephanie could have said what Triple H said, and she would have literally taken the balls off of Becky Lynch, right? But they didn't do that, which was very smart because that's what Stephanie does to the male characters on the show, right? She just completely just takes them down. She was trying to reason with Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch and her I don't trust anybody, which is very Stone Cold like mentality, right? No. And then on Tuesday, Triple H reminds us how amazing he is by cutting that promo, because even me watching it, and I have all the faith in the world in Becky Lynch, and he's trying to say you're just scared and that's why you don't want to see the doctor. He planted a little bit of doubt in those Becky Lynch fans. I'm like watching it like, stop saying that. You're hurting my feelings.
But I mean,
he was awesome.
That's what Triple H is the best at. He has always been. The cerebral assassin doesn't just mean in the ring. He has always been able to pick people apart mentally. They call Daniel Bryan a B plus player. Like, they got inside these people's heads. Yeah. With CM Punk, it became a personal thing that Triple H got in his head so much.
That's amazing that you brought the B plus player, because that's really what I thought about when he was just trying to tell Becky Lynch, you're just scared because Ronda Rousey is gonna expose you, and I'm like, oh my God, stop.
That guy is a professional manipulator in the best way possible, because because here's the thing. I think that he comes at you so real and so intense that you have to react with raw emotion. You can't stage how you, like Becky Lynch, you could see her like biting her lip, like looking like she was actually getting pissed off. And you're like, that's real emotion. That's what I want to see. I don't want this fabricated bullshit. Like, yes, it's scripted, but you could tell he was hitting those pinpoints on Becky that were like, ooh, that might have pushed it a little bit. Ooh, that might have pushed it. That's what I love to see.
Which also makes you see that it makes Becky the anti-establishment, because 2 weeks ago he was on stage crying with Seth Rollins because of this great accomplishment, and I knew you had it in you, but he's not doing that for Becky Lynch, which also makes you wonder, they don't believe in her, they don't have her back. So I think the storytelling that is being told right now It's fucking awesome. And you know what? We have 2 pay-per-views. So maybe this turns into a small feud between Charlotte and Becky. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. I cannot
Becky
wait.
Triple H now. Okay, am I the only one? Like, can we get that instead?
Well,
Everybody
I cannot wait
that,
for the day that Becky shows up to the crowd and said, I saw the doctor and I'm clear, bitches. Whether it's the Tuesday night before WrestleMania, I don't care. When it happened, the pop is going to be huge.
It's the smartest thing to do this injury angle because now people are going to yearn for her to wrestle. People are going to want her in that ring. And when she returns, she gets that hero's welcome. They're fucking doing this perfect. Like, there's some shit that I'm watching on Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, meh. And then there's this, and I'm like, you're doing this. Like, I can't pick this apart because this is perfect.
Yeah.
You're setting it up the way it should be, right? And I just thought about this while you guys were saying all that. You don't need to be super hyped for Ronda and Becky right now. You need to be super hyped for Ronda and Becky the week before Mania. So you're fucking like, yeah, let's go. It's this Sunday. And if you were waiting to buy tickets, you buy tickets if you're able to go, or you're super pumped and you spend more money during Mania weekend because now you're pumped for this match and you want to buy all the merch, or if you don't have the network for some godly reason and you get the network that weekend. It's all these things are what you are supposed to do business-wise, and it keeps Becky and Ronda away. They don't have to touch because Becky's hurt, right? But I think they're doing great. They should add Charlotte, make it a triple threat match, make it the biggest women's wrestling match in history.
I agree.
And put it on first so I could watch it and then go home. Lit. Yeah.
You're not going home. You're sitting with me, and we're having a blast.
Listen, I'm all down for having a blast. I'm just not down for sitting 7 hours in fucking New York weather in April.
We'll be fine. Because we're going to have the Rant with Ant blanket, the Rant with Ant long johns, a bunch of new merch, a slew of merchandise coming soon.
Did you attend WrestleMania 29, Ant?
Yes, I did.
We all did, right? Did you?
It was fucking cold, bro.
Yo,
and it was shorter than this Mania.
And it was raining a little bit. Yep. And then Mark Henry beat Ryback, and I won $150 from the jackass sitting behind me. He's like, Ryback's going to win. I was like, yo, bro, I was drunk. It's like, I bet you $150 fucking Mark Henry beats him right now.
The balls on
somebody gonna get the ass whooped.
The ball's on you. What backstage info did you have? Because the world thought Ryback was going to win.
Because Mark Henry was like one of my top 5 at the time. I love that motherfucker. I had the Bet on Destruction shirt. I was ready to do that shit. You know what I mean? Oh, no, I had the Hall of Fame shirt. Then I wanted the Hall of Fame shirt, and it was $5 on WWE Shop, but they only had smalls. Small doesn't fit over my left nipple, so I couldn't buy it.
The struggle.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Damn. We just got tagged in the post. I don't know. Maybe we should try.
Is this a surprise?
No, it's not a surprise topic. It's a Bullet Club block party, and it says if you want to be a part of the podcast. But I don't know. I think I want to keep our podcast exclusive for Thursday night, and I think Sunday I want to meet Dean Ambrose and then drink with you guys and hang out.
Hey, there you go.
You know, right?
There you go, bro.
I mean, if it was the All Elite tailgate, I might do it. Yeah,
listen, I'm just saying, everybody who's listening, press F on your phone right now for respect.
Nah, I do want to maybe stop by. I think Thursday night, I really want that to be our Mania tradition. You know what I mean? Where you can catch us live once that weekend, and then the rest of the weekend, I just want to hang out with the people.
Have fun, man. Just have fun with everybody.
I just want to be one with the people. Like, that's what we strive
with the people.
Yeah, it's like... Yep.
Shout out to everybody.
I was born into darkness, or whatever Bane said.
Who was able to get the Rousey tickets, or maybe the Shane McMahon tickets. And
topic.
So, and who are gonna be I mean, hopefully, when you guys are hearing this, me and Issa were able to get Rousey tickets. But shout out to the people who, like me, if I got a ticket, hopefully, are gonna try to do the Rousey signing at 6 and make NXT at 7. So shout out to us for that madness.
Absolute mad lads.
So I was explaining to MJ this week about the craziness of WrestleMania, and this week perfectly summarized the craziness of WrestleMania. So it's a little knowledge, you know, a little early knowledge, but prepare for the worst. It's gonna be fun. You'll have the best time of your life, but let me tell you, there's a lot of stress involved. But as long as you hang out with some good people, you'll have fun.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like Thursday night. Like, me and Phil were on the phone. And Thursday night is the night that I'm looking forward to the most out of everything, because it's like our community in one place, us doing what we love doing, which is giving you this show, and then hanging out with you after. Like, afterwards, even when we leave the place, we'll find a bar to go hang out at we'll find somewhere to go hang out at so we can all be together and spend time together. Friday, very much the same thing. We'll be running around before NXT. If you guys are meeting Rousey, I'll be somewhere. Come meet me. Come hang out. Like, I could easily book 4 shows for us to do. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't want to do that because I like to take the time to actually interact with people, hang out with people, do events with people, go to the Access, meet listeners there, hang out with them there. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about the weekend. The weekend's so much more than going and sitting in the stadium for 7 hours on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's everything that
Worst
leads
part.
up to it. You know
Crazy
what I mean?
enough, and we've said this on the show since Orlando 2 years ago, that the worst part of WrestleMania weekend is, believe it or not, WrestleMania. Everything else is so much fun, and WrestleMania is a lot of fun, but that just shows you how much fun everything else is because
it's WrestleMania and the wrestling hangover. Because when you create content like we do, by the time Wednesday comes around, you're so tired you don't want to know anything about wrestling for like 2 weeks. I'll be honest.
And then that's usually when we release a bullshit episode where we're not really talking about wrestling. Like we'll record the WrestleMania review show that night when we're all excited, and then we'll release it like Thursday. So like it's like. We're not even like, because it's exhausting, but it's the best kind of exhaustion. And Phil, like, I want to talk about the topic because, you know, obviously there's the good and the bad of pro wrestling and the community. And obviously when you want to meet someone and scalpers and other people take that opportunity, you get pissed off. So explain what happened to you, because Issa said this is a good topic. And, you know, when Issa says something, we got to do it, because I'd rather piss off all Twitter than piss off the Demon Diva herself, you know?
So, my opinion, when it comes to signings of extremely popular superstars, this does not include the people who are at WrestleCon. This does not include anybody whose tickets will actually sell out, right? And this isn't shade, but if Carmella, like Nia Jax, like these people, their tickets aren't going to sell out right away. Like, I'm sorry, it'll take time. They'll eventually sell out. But if you're at Adventureland and you're in New Jersey, or you're at whatever Walmart is in your area, or wherever WWE is doing signings, these tickets don't sell out. They're either free or, you know, they'll be on sale for a while. What I was saying is, for example, all 3 of us, including MJ, so 4 of us and a lot of people we know, we were lucky enough to be in the tri-state area, so we met Becky Lynch in the beginning of December. It was awesome. It was incredible. It would be extremely selfish of me to try to get a Becky Lynch ticket for Access, because we know Becky Lynch is the hottest wrestler in the world right now, and we know that. Did you get one, Issa?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So we understand, but we know that
discussion we need to have.
Yeah, but we know that like there are people flying in for WrestleMania. Shout out to Martin, right? He's one of them from
social
out
media,
of the
Martin,
country, right? Out of the country to come to maybe their first Mania, and they saved up all this money and they want to spend it. It's not that they don't have the money, right? They have the money to spend, but because, you know, maybe Issa got a Becky Lynch ticket, now somebody else can't get a Becky Lynch ticket. And maybe that might be their only time of ever meeting them. And I understand it is what it is, but you have people in the community that meet the same people 4, 5, 6 times. And they're meeting the heavy hitters.
One of those people.
No, so, but Nikki, not to be a dick, but Nikki Bella's not a heavy hitter.
Yeah, Bella sell out. And when you look at her tickets on Access,
the Bella Twins do signings, but the Bella Twins do signings all year long, and you'll have a chance to meet them.
You can find the Bella Twins like an hour before the signing for like $20 on StubHub, because
but like, I'm saying, like the people like, and like obviously I was personally upset about the Rousey thing because I had the ticket and then it backed me out.
I got that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like that's the thing where it's like I understand, like if Roman does a signing again, when he does, I want to meet him, right? Because he's the one guy that I haven't met. So I don't want people who,
Then you don't want me to go because I met him 3 times.
No, because I want a chance to meet him, and it's not to be a dick, but it's like this might be my only chance to meet him, right? Let's say hypothetically, and you've met him 3 times, so like why should you meet him a 4th time if I haven't met him?
So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, I have the same shot as you get, and I get what you're saying, and it makes sense.
No, we all have the same shot, and we can all spend our money because people on Twitter were fucking ripping into me. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I don't care how you spend your money.
That's not where I'm going with that. Yeah. I'm saying, for me, you know me, I personally have a collection. Yes. I have a belt that I want signed. I have figures that I want to have signed. So yes, to me, I will meet someone more than once. I'm not going to buy. Listen, I'm not someone who will ever buy 3 or 4 tickets. My problem is with the people who buy multiple tickets and then put them on StubHub for $900. The fact that you can buy 8 tickets, 8 fucking meet and greet tickets makes me sick to my stomach.
It is.
Because there's 6 of them for $998 to meet Ronda Rousey on StubHub, which means they're not people that want to meet them. I would much rather, and I'm just using this as an example, Cody Repass gets an Asuka ticket. That's one. If he doesn't buy another one, that one ticket doesn't fucking affect me. It's the 9 people who bought multiple tickets that have them on StubHub that affects me. That's my problem.
Well, what I was saying is, as a community, we should try to be better when it comes to WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania is the biggest event of the year, especially in a huge city like New York, where, let's be honest, most of the population is not even going to go to Mania. They're just going to go to Access and stuff, because that's what happened at WrestleMania 29. I went to Orlando. You went to New Orleans. People go all the time, and I've never heard of an Access selling out other than when it did in New York. Access legitimately sold out in New York.
Access sold out in Orlando and Dallas. I did Dallas as well, and he
Orlando,
sold out. Now,
and certain people sell out.
Here's where I come from with this, right? Because you want to talk about the community. I am very vocal about having an issue with fans going to hotels, going to airports, stalking the wrestlers. Yep, exactly. And if you're given the opportunity to support them this way, that's where I come through. I'm not going to go and stand outside of an airport or a hotel to harass a superstar that I really just support. I'm not a collector. When I go to meet these people, it's because I really want to give them my support. And the way that you support your favorite superstars in WWE is showing up at the signings, is buying the merchandise, is going to the shows and cheering for them. So me personally, I like to do it that way because I don't want to do it any other way. I don't want to become the stalker fan, right? So when outside of Ronda Rousey, which you know that's a bucket list item for me, the 3 signings that I have my eye on are Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins. You know how many times I met Seth Rollins? And I will say, do you know how good it feels when you walk up to Seth Rollins and he knows exactly who you are and he expects you to be there because he knows that you're going to be there. So it's weird because I know where you're coming from, right? And I have bought more than 1 ticket and donated 2 tickets in the past for Make-A-Wish. I donated tickets.
Yeah, so that's different. You're not trying to scalp people out of their fucking
No,
money.
I know, but I am taking the opportunity, and I just want to understand Phil's side too, because when I saw his post, I literally felt a little devil and a little angel in my shoulder.
That's exactly how I felt too.
Because I was like, damn, I see his point. At the same time, I don't want to not see Seth.
But my thing is,
like, I support Nikki Bella so much.
I've been a part of this community for this. We're going on, I don't know what, my third Mania now. And every time Mania, SummerSlam does Access now, Rumble does Access now. So all these pay-per-views, the big 4 pay-per-views seem to be doing Access. I'm sure Survivor Series and Money in the Bank will catch up, right? But what ends up happening is people that we know in the community who are like, it's my dream to meet fucking whoever, don't get these tickets. And then you see other people in the community who you might be friends with, who you might not be friends with. That really doesn't matter. But they're meeting people 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And it's like, give somebody else a chance. And I understand you want to meet Becky. That's fine.
They're doing it the right way. Like
they are doing it the right way for the wrestlers. But as fan to fan, we need to show a little bit more respect for each other.
Understand,
and give somebody else a shot.
I don't want to play devil's advocate, but there's no better feeling than meeting your favorite star, and everybody should get to do that. So I can see that
I
as
agree.
well.
I agree that way. But listen, the way that people were coming at you, Phil, I don't give a fuck about those fans. I'm gonna take their ticket. That's how I feel. Because yes, we have a great community, but outside this great community, there's a lot of dick bags. So if I could take a dick bags ticket and I can meet Nikki Bella and leave, she fucking touches my chest and goes, "Oh my God, how are you? You look great. Blah, 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 blah. You should have been on Total Bellas. I'll be on Total Bellas, babe. Let me just give me my fucking number here." But for that moment, I would rather have that moment than some dickhead who doesn't deserve that moment.
I know, but we can't.
And I get what you're saying.
You can't fight fire with fire. You can't fight their being an asshole by also being an asshole. Like the whole thing that I don't understand that, but the whole thing that I was trying to say is we preach, everyone in the wrestling community in their circles preaches positivity. Let's be positive. Let's think about one another. And then when somebody goes, hey, let's think about one another, people go, fuck you. It's every man for himself. I'm going to get what I can get. And if that's how you feel, fine. My whole thing is, it just let's try to think of someone else, right?
But
you understand how happy it is for Issa to give that ticket to somebody, right? For her to donate and say, hey, the kid that she gave the ticket to meet Roman at SummerSlam, how good that feels. Now, I don't have those opportunities, and I'm not in those circles where I can even afford a second ticket if I wanted to give to somebody, or even know who to give it to if I could afford it to. So my way of doing that without having anything to do with it is not trying to buy a Becky ticket. Because what if I would have clicked Becky and got a ticket? I met her 2 months ago. Why do I deserve to meet her again?
I'm fully honest with you, and you touched on this about how they just did that access at Royal Rumble, which actually I thought was the most amazing looking access they've ever done, and I hope they keep that up for Mania. I also think that for WrestleMania, WWE should do more than one section per, like the premiums at least, right? The ones that are going to sell out in 5 minutes, the people that people will pay to see.
Friday.
You already expanded access. We have access on Thursday and Monday now, which has never happened around here before. They always ended on Sunday. Now they realize people are staying for Raw. Let's give another day. So why not book Becky Lynch, your most popular superstar, for 3 of those signings? Like, what else are they going to be doing? You know what I mean? So I also think that they need to give us the opportunity to meet them more than just 2 hours in the entire weekend.
And that's a perfect idea. And here's how we build on that, right? We created a conversation. We start talking. We start coming up with ideas. Here's what you do. One of them is for everybody. On sale to the public, pre-sale, whatever. One of them is just for people with WrestleMania tickets. Like, let's start to dial this back, because there are people who are literally coming here who have bought WrestleMania tickets with the hopes of, hey, we're going to come for a great weekend and a great show. I'm going to have a great time, meet some great people, right? Create some memories, but also maybe I can get to meet Becky Lynch because maybe she's my favorite. You give them a block where they can meet people because you have to show your ticket.
Well, the travel packages have that now. They get a breakfast with the superstar. They get a lot more benefits now if you do the travel package. So a lot of the fans that are coming internationally will get a chance that none of us will get to, right? At the same time, I do think that if you want to avoid the fans that I personally said don't like, you have to give people the opportunity to meet them, because if you didn't get that access ticket, guess who's going to camp outside of that hotel in Brooklyn all weekend long trying to get that fucking selfie and that autograph with Becky Lynch, with Seth Rollins, with Shane McMahon, the people that sat here at 10 a.m. and clicked and did not get the opportunity to buy. I said it on your post. I said it's come down to, it's not even about the asshole who met them, who didn't met them. It's whoever clicks the fastest.
It's not even fair. That. It's pure luck. Because there are people who are on a 10, and it doesn't matter. Like and that's a Ticketmaster debate that has nothing to do with us as wrestling fans. We can't change that. The site is run like shit, and it's the ticket site, the number 1 ticket site in the world.
If you've gone through this, you're already expecting it. Like, you never expect it to go right.
And I'm lucky. Ever. Listen, I'm lucky. I haven't gone through a Ticketmaster fiasco like I did on Wednesday for years. I was able SummerSlam to get a Triple H and Stephanie ticket. But with that being said, if I was at Rumble, I would not have bought a Triple. I don't want to buy a Triple H and Stephanie ticket ever again, because I was lucky enough to meet them once, and I want to give other people the chance, because I know people who didn't get the ticket when I did,
selfish.
and who had to buy it second hand. You know what I mean?
I'm selfish. And I
think they're super.
I guess I'm like, because it is. Like, I know that you said you're not a collector, Issa, but it's not just me being a collector. It's because these guys are my favorites, and I want to have their most iconic moments,
and that's
that cool. I have figures for signed. So, yes, I will meet Seth Rollins multiple times. But I'm also the same person that after I got my Dean Ambrose ticket, I went on Ticketmaster for 45 minutes to try to get Phil Ronda Rousey ticket. So
I'm not someone, and that's how you are. But I'm saying not like, so I don't expect to snap a finger and the whole world changes, right? What I'm saying is, if even one person read my tweet and was like, you know what, Phil, you're right, and was like, I won't do that, that's one more person who has a chance to get the ticket. That's what I'm trying to do. We're not going to change the fucking world in a day, okay? The point is, we need to come together, and the people, like, I am willing to give up an opportunity to meet Carmella so someone else can meet her. Because if you see this fucking wall right here, I've met her before, and it was awesome, and I have a lot of signed stuff by her, thanks to fucking Picture Kim, and it's awesome, and I'm very lucky for that. But now give somebody else the opportunity to meet her. That's what I'm saying. You can meet Nikki Bella 500 times. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can meet Becky Lynch as much as you want, whoever, it's fine. But the people who can afford to not do it, don't do it. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's more of a structure thing than it is a fan thing. That's all I'm going to say. I think we came across a really good point because we opened up the dialogue, and I think there should be multiple signings. I think, if you have WrestleMania tickets, then they have proof of whose name bought WrestleMania tickets. Okay, Anthony DiStefano, guess what? You bought tickets on the first day they were on sale. You have a 30-minute window to get your access tickets before anybody else. Something like that. Where
but
it's
that's never going to work out because there's thousands of WrestleMania tickets and all of these thousands of people are going to get the email. Are you going to run into the same situation? It comes down to
better than being against 1,000 than 70,000.
It's you're still not going to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
is you're against bots. And no matter what they say about bots happen because there's no other way that people get fucking 8 tickets. Bots. That's the only way.
I think that crazy. They need to make the superstars more available. That being said, we do know that week, obviously, Phil and I both have our eyes on Ronda Rousey, and I don't think we'll see her doing anything outside of that Access signing. But I think that people like Seth Rollins, like a Becky Lynch, Carmella, all of those people, they will be doing additional. StubHub always do signings that week. There's a lot of Toys R Us, rest in peace. Press F for Toys R Us.
Press F.
No, but there's other places, and they're all over the place. So now it's a matter of look out for the press announcer, for the appearances announcer, because even during SummerSlam, they were all over the place doing signings. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I like to support my favorites in the best way that I can, like an adult, like a grown-up, not being a stalker. So when it comes to that, I do want to show my support in the nice, organized, grown-up way where I just go to Access, I get on my line, I say hi, you kick ass, let me bow down to you, I'm out.
Guess what it is, guys? Surprise topic. AAA just announced they are partnering with AEW. AEW is about to take the shit over.
Hashtag cool.
Hashtag expand your horizon. No, but that was a great discussion. That was a great discussion because I am on a whole opposite side, but we had a discussion and we came up with a solution. And that's what I feel like. That's the problem. And when I come up there and we look at the venue, we're going to do a venue check probably in a couple weeks of where we're doing our live show. It's almost like Double or Nothing. We're going to go there, we're going to lay it out with our eyes, and then we're going to put it all together. I think we should record another video like Issa did with Uster with how people act on Twitter compared to how they act in person. Because if you were to say this to someone in person, nobody's going to be like, fight me. Bitch. Shut up.
That's an issue because wrestling. We just discussed this. None of us had the same point of view, and we can do it without attacking each other. Now, when we start attacking each other, your take is bullshit. Fuck you, Phil, right? Because I want to go meet Becky Lynch again. That's bullshit. We don't have to attack each other. We don't have to. I just don't understand why people have to act this way.
I don't get the world where it's like, no, you have to have my opinion. No, I don't want you to have my opinion. My wife is totally fucking opposite of me. Anyone that has ever met Nicole will tell you she is nothing like me. And you know why we're in love? Because she's not like me, and she has different opinions, and we can have discussions, and it's not like, I agree. Who the fuck wants that in their world?
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
Wrestling fans, that's who the fuck wants that.
It's not even them wanting it. Is people, like we said earlier in the show, everything's about trends, right? And in a smaller sample size, Twitter and social media in general, but especially Twitter, it is all about, and YouTube comments, right, are notoriously bad, but it's all about jumping on the trend, right?
Show me your
and when everybody is stomping on someone, you jump in to stomp on them. Even if you don't follow them, you don't know who they are, you see something out of context, and you just fucking go off, right? And I used to be like that. But over the past 3 years
I trained my affiliate.
Yeah, exactly. And like over the past 3 years of being a part of this show and talking to Ann, talking to Issa, and talking to like G-Rod and MJ and people to try to like calm me down when it comes to the shit that I really want to say. Right? It's about maturing on social media. I understand it's hard, whatever, but it's like, don't be the person who sees maybe someone you follow reply or like something so it shows up on your feed and you're like, I don't follow this person, I don't know this person, but let me fucking attack. And not attack like, hey, you're wrong. Here, let me explain. Like, I had people come to me and explain to me their side the same way Issa and Ant did, right? But then I had people in my mentions like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. And I'm talking about 30, 35 messages of this shit. And it's like, I don't
because
even know
you
who
were
these people
trying to
are.
do something for the community. Like, let's just start by saying that your tweet was not shitty. You were actually looking out for people that want to meet their fucking favorite
Because
wrestlers.
at the end of the
So
day,
why
the
you being
reason why
attacked? I
shit,
don't get
you're
it.
right. The reason why shit never changes is because everybody says they want shit to change, but nobody fucking ever wants to take a stand. I took a stand. You guys had great points. I still don't agree with you. I still think my point is right, and it's fine. And you guys think your point is right, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I think this is something as a community that we should do, because there's other fandoms that are fucking just as bad as us, and they will let that shit sink their fandom into the ground. I go to Comic-Con every year, and I see how bad the nerd fandom can be to each other, right? And there's nobody on a fucking soapbox like, hey, we should stop things. So I just try to be that for a second.
And I get what you were doing, but they took it out of context, because even though I think that I'm going to stick to my opinion on this, and I think that people, if you buy one ticket, whatever, you're doing it the right way. But I also see what you're saying. So I'm not going to say you're full of shit or you're bullshit, because you're right in your motive. But here's the problem with the wrestling community. A lot of people are I am very selfish when it comes to autographs. But like Issa, I don't want to be the creepy guy. I don't want to be the dude that's at the hotel. I want to do it the right way. I want to get because to me, this is what matters. If my friends and the community I'm in all get it, or all have a chance, or I'll try for them, even if I'm not trying to meet them. I got Carrie from England a Dean Ambrose ticket in Orlando because they weren't on sale yet for her. I look out for people like that. But it's not my responsibility that if someone gets on at 11 o'clock, if I want to meet someone and I'm on at 10 o'clock and I get their ticket, I'm sorry. And that's just how I feel. I can't help that. I'm a little selfish that way.
I'm about to be salty here, right? But it goes beyond that. Like, we're attacking people. I'm not gonna wee me on this, because I don't attack anybody on Twitter. Am I a sarcastic bitch? Yeah, but everybody knows that that's how I am, and you have to come at me. I don't get on people's mentions because I don't even check my notifications at this point, right? Number two, the fucking algorithm sucks, because I am seeing more tweets from people I don't know who the fuck they are, nor do I follow them, than the people that I actually want to see. That being said, it's just getting to the point where now people are. I've seen people getting attacked because they just started liking Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. Welcome everybody to the fucking bandwagon, because if I like Becky Lynch since day one and now you're here, guess what? That just proved that you're proving me right.
Listen,
so come on in. Like,
you know how many times I had to block people because I'm a Roman Reigns fan?
I don't block people. I'm not that sensitive.
No, I just don't want to hear your bullshit. Listen, I don't even have personal Twitter anymore. Because guess what? The people that I fuck with, go to patreon.com/rant with Ant and join the chat. And that's who I talk to. If you're not them, go fuck yourself.
There's I have been to a show, I will never forget it, years ago. It was right in Prudential in Newark. And I was the only person in there cheering for Seth Rollins. Nobody likes Seth Rollins. Do you really think that I feel salty that now everybody likes him? No, I love it. I have more people join me in this discussion.
Get the gang mentality.
But I also don't feel like I have a bigger right to be a Seth Rollins fan than somebody that just started liking him, right? And that's what I'm seeing. It's like these people think, I've been here since day one, so I'm a bigger fan than you. It doesn't matter. We're all a fan. We're all a fan of the same sport, the same thing. I just get so aggravated. The whole, you have to pick a side because Brock is fighting Seth, because Becky's fighting Ronda, or I can't be a real fan by cheering for both.
Your favorites are fighting each other.
And that's my point. I win no matter who wins because it's my favorite. So
the thing when it comes to that is, right? And then you kind of understand the type of fans that you have to pick a side. Listen, if Kenny Omega was fighting fucking AJ Styles, you wouldn't pick a side. And this is the problem. Everybody has their favorites. I have multiple favorites. If Carmella was fighting whoever the fuck, Bianca Belair, I'm cool. Carmella has fought Tessa on NXT before. Did I fucking stand there and be like, no, it's you like who you like, and that there's nothing wrong with that. And everyone who watches, there's fucking 40 million hours of wrestling every week in a million different fucking companies. Or am I only supposed to like one person from every gender, from every style of wrestling?
Don't even get me started on that, because one of the most triggering comments that I have got on my YouTube this week was in relation to me not knowing who half of the women that came out in the Rumble were. And I said, hey, listen, I am very open to, number one, I don't watch anything outside of SmackDown, Raw, and the pay-per-views and takeovers. I don't even watch NXT weekly. I listen to Who Got Next to keep up with what's going on.
Every Friday on Rampage Network.
I have never not being open to learning, right? So even in the video, you can see Phil giving me a little bit of a background on what's going on. And then the best part was the whole Kairi Sane thing, which people, if you don't know me, you don't know that I had a beef because of the whole Shayna Baszler thing. So when I talk that way, it's because of the whole pirate thing. It's nothing against her. I think she's very talented little girl. Good for her, okay? But I just don't understand why we're hating. Somebody went on my comments and they put... Go ahead.
Here's the thing, but it's annoying because, like, we shouldn't even have to say that. Like, all right, I don't like Asuka, but it doesn't mean that I think she sucks. Of course, she's one of the top 3, 4, 5 wrestlers in the world. Fucking la-di-da, who gives a shit? I just don't like her. Why do we have to say shit that's fucking, like, just common knowledge? Like, oh, is Charlotte a great wrestler? Yes, but maybe you like her, maybe you love her. That is your opinion is what I care about. I don't give a fuck about the facts when it comes to liking people or not, because people are good, people are not good. Who cares? I like Mandy Rose. She's a terrible wrestler,
hey,
but
Mandy Rose. Woo!
Listen,
Ascension.
What the fuck
the
it
Ascension.
is. I hate that shit.
The Ascension.
Listen, remember when everyone was in love with Revival when they were in NXT, and now no one fucking likes them but like 3 of us? So let's talk about that shit. But then when they sign on AEW, people are going to fucking be wearing Revival shirts because they're in AEW. Let's be better as a community. Let people like who they like. Let people do what they want to do. I don't understand. And look after each other.
I'm going to be real. And again, I don't expect anyone to ever agree with everything that I like because that's boring. I don't expect to agree. Me and Phil and me and Issa and Phil, we don't agree. That's what makes our show entertaining. We rarely agree with each other. We respect each other, though. And when it comes to, like, you know, when I say, oh, fuck you if you're not a Patreon, I'm kidding. We have a great community. We have great listeners who, when I meet them, I love talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, my best friends came from this community. But I feel like now this community is more like, it's a gang. It's a wolf pack. And it's like, if you don't like when I say I'm a Nikki Bella fan, people fucking, when Nikki Bella retweeted my shit on my reaction to Rumble, I had people like legit like calling me gay, saying all this bullshit, which whatever, it doesn't bother me. But like, why do you have to go out of your way to try to hurt somebody? Why do you have to go out of your way to try to be...
the point of not having the same opinion, because now you even see it two kind of people that like Becky Lynch, and because you didn't like her since the beginning, you're not a real fan. Like, it's getting to the point where you're just looking for it. You're looking for how to attack someone.
You are. So what the wrestling community, not ours, but like when I'm saying the wrestling community, like that dark side of it is, it's that drunk guy that's really like passive aggressive. He's like, you know, I fuck with you. You know. But like, he's waiting for you to slip up so he can be, oh, whoop your ass. Like, that's exactly what they are. They just like lure you in, and then they snap on you. So like, you know, instead of being like Cody Repass, I think handled it well. Daryl handled it well when he was just like, listen, I respect what you're saying. This is what I think. This is what I do. This is why I do it. And that's how a discussion starts. And I think that's how change comes about, is when a discussion starts. No one's ever going to agree. It's actually the perfect example of what our world is right now. It's this gang mentality. It's either you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, and nobody's listening. Just listen. Open conversation, respectful dialogue. Maybe that's how you make a change in the world. The gang mentality bullshit, that doesn't change anything. And I think the wrestling world is just reflecting the real world, and that sucks because the wrestling world is supposed to be my escape from reality.
And it was not always like this. When I originally joined Twitter, because I had no friends that watch wrestling, it was not like this.
Me too. That's how I got here. I made a Twitter to try to make wrestling friends, I don't know, like 3-4 years ago. And it wasn't like this.
Style shirts. I fell in love with them.
Yeah, exactly. Ant only likes me because I bought his merch.
I know. Well, so you can buy the merch at represent.com/store/Rant If you're a Patreon, you're seeing this beautiful Golden Mike Award, which means we do something right.
Exactly. But like back then, I don't know if it was that it wasn't like this back then, or you know, I didn't follow a lot of people and I didn't have a lot of followers, so I didn't know back then, and it was like out of my reach. But being in the position that we are, with the number of people who listen to our shows every week and the number of people who follow Rant with Ant on Twitter and who got next on Twitter and us individually, like you get open to a wider audience. But just it's the whole thing that I keep saying it. Just because people are doing wrong, like, all right, so because people are like fuck you, Phil, you're a piece of shit? Should I be like, well, fuck you then, fuck everybody,
No.
I'm gonna do what I want? No, like I'm standing for something, and I'm gonna keep standing for it, right? And the whole thing what Ant was saying, right? Be respectful to each other as much as possible, because there are people out there in the community who are quiet, who come up to us when we do our hangouts, and it happened to us in Brooklyn. A kid came up to us. I didn't know if I should come here. I don't really have wrestling friends. You scare them away by having these like crazy heated arguments, and you make people go, maybe this isn't the community for me because I don't like this negativity. Because of course,
no one wants to be
everything in life,
people arguing. Nobody.
We don't see the positivity doesn't shine through on Twitter. The positivity doesn't get 100 replies. It's the negativity that gets 100 replies, and then the negativity that is either defending it or agreeing with it gets all the replies. So instead of scaring the people away who may be listening to the show or following us on Twitter or something like that, who want to hang out with not even just us, but with anybody in the community, like, be better, because then that expands the community, and we could be better for each other.
And that's the thing. And I always joke about, coming to our Patreon chat, but I kind of mean it too, because it's like there people can state their opinions, and we did, I think the right people are in our community where it's like people know that Phil doesn't like Asuka, but they'll have an intelligent discussion about why. Today, me and Nate said, why would you put Carmella and Naomi in that tag match instead of Io Shirai and Kairi Sane? And I was like, well, listen, this is why. Naomi is a veteran. This is a main roster thing.
Oh, fuck, I love that tag team. I'm not going to lie.
No, so that's the thing. It's like, but we had a respectful discussion where it's like, I see where you're coming from, Nate, and I think that would be awesome, but this is why I think they did it. And
you
guess
see,
what?
There's two different sides of the community.
And we got along. We got along the whole time. No one called each other an idiot. Nobody.
I had literally, you can see both sides of it, right? I had a comment on my YouTube, and someone was nice enough to write an entire paragraph about the history of the girls that I didn't know when they were coming out on the Rumble. And I appreciated that comment. I actually went back, and we had a nice conversation about, listen, I don't watch anything else. I don't have time for it.
You're an idiot. So, you don't know who that is?
And then you have that. Oh, you're an embarrassment for wrestling fans because you don't know who they are. Nobody knew who they were. Flashback, go watch the Rumble. There was no sound in the arena because half of the people there didn't know who they were. And that's when you can be the fan that educates that person. Hey, listen, I know you don't know who she is, but this is who she is. And at the end of the Rumble, I ended with two favorites that I never watched before. So, not favorite, but people that I want to follow what they do. Because I watched their performance.
I watched maybe 3 or 4 of the Mae Young Classics. And what's that girl's name? Kacy
Catanzaro.
She's fucking amazing.
She's one of my favorites now. I love her.
But that's why
Ricochet has the type.
If you build the community in the right way, when we're watching the Rumble, I could turn to Issa and say, hey, that's Xia Li. She was in the Mae Young Classic. This is who she is. Now, if you choose to like her or not, that's up to you. But I'm telling you who she is. I popped for Kacy Catanzaro because I knew the shit that she was capable of. Because you see the clips.
Now.
Exactly, and now a lot of people like her, which is what.
And when Rhea Ripley came out, which you guys have been telling me about her for so long,
fucking
what a
Rhea
bad bitch, goddammit!
That chick. Her. Yo, she did
There's way too much wrestling.
Stop, and I was like, ah!
There's way too much wrestling for us to watch all of it, and that's fine. I had no clue who Penelope Ford was until fucking Ant interviewed her. And then I went back and started watching her stuff because, of course, she's very hot and she's a good wrestler too, right? I didn't know who Jordynne Grace was until fucking Wade, my boy, is like, hey, watch Jordynne Grace stuff. And now I'm a big fan of her. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is what is cool.
But
you
that's
get
what
people in.
We're supposed to be here for. We're supposed to educate people. We're supposed to understand that not everybody watches. I have a family. I have a job. I don't have time to watch everything. I don't. Even if I wanted to, I don't.
Here's the thing. Tessa Blanchard. I didn't know who Tessa was. Phil got me. When I was like, yo, you got to watch Kenny Omega. Oh, he blocked me on Twitter. Still, Phil, watch it. You have to watch. He watched me and went, holy fuck, he's the best. You educate people. You don't have to be a dickhead about it. Like, I don't have to be like, Phil, you don't watch Kenny Omega? You're a dumb fuck. Like, you could just be like, yo, you got to check this dude out. Like, there's shit that I didn't even think that I would watch that, you know what I mean? Like, Pete Dunne. Like, I didn't think I would like any UK wrestler because I just didn't know him and I didn't watch Progress. I didn't watch any of that. Pete Dunne came in. I was like, holy fuck, this guy's amazing. Now I need to go back and watch his shit.
It's the truth.
That it's that simple, and that's what I think, and that's why I love everyone in our little community because I feel like we do a good job of that. So, cheap plug, if you want to join the community, go to patreon.com/rantwithant. Follow us on Twitter @rantwithant, Instagram @rantwithant. follow us all over, and there's always open discussions and open dialogue. There will never be open arguments. If you try to argue with us, you will catch these hands and the block button. That's what these hands are on Twitter. It's the block button.
The block button.
It's the block and move on. Speaking of moving on, I was going to move on to the next topic, but we're going to save that for next week because we are about to see the All Elite Wrestling press conference where they're going to announce tickets, hopefully announce Kenny Omega. If you're listening to this Saturday and you didn't catch the stream on Friday, go to Twitch, RWA World. I'm going to be doing the WWE 2K Universe. It's called Behind Enemy Lines with a Roman Reigns Kenny Omega main event. You have Cody Rhodes challenging for titles. You got the Young Bucks challenging for tag titles. It's going to be awesome. It's one of the most fun things I do. It's very interactive. It turns into an Ask Me Anything. You guys can come on, ask me whatever you want. Let's have a good time. Represent.com/store/Rant with Dan. If you're going to WrestleMania, why don't you go in style? We got the Rant Mania shirts up. They're fresh. They're fly. They're so damn high. Go get one. Then, if you want to support even more and you want to be invited to the Rant with Ant Winter Gala, the WrestleMania Kickoff Gala, which will happen Thursday night of WrestleMania weekend, go over to patreon.com/Rant with Ant. Join the team, and you will get an exclusive invite to our exclusive show, exclusive party, and it's all for free. It's all for free. If you're a Patreon, you get food, drinks, and a show for free. This is our way of thanking you because we love you so much. Phil does a show with MJ, and it's a great one. And as you heard, it keeps me and Issa up to date on NXT news, and it's called Who Got Next. Phil, plug it.
So every Friday on this very network, the Rant with Ant Network, you get to hear me and NJ talk all about NXT and NXT UK. It is our way to try to encourage people to watch weekly because it is really some of the best wrestling and the best produced wrestling television that is out there right now. We saw 2 great weeks this past week. It's on the feed right now because, of course, it's every Friday. And the next couple of weeks, you have some really, really big matches. You have Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream coming up. You have Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm in a rematch for the UK Women's title. There's a lot of really great matches coming up. So this is a time, if you guys watch TakeOver Blackpool, if you guys watch TakeOver Phoenix, and you really enjoyed the NXT product, and if you love the takeovers, try to watch weekly. You get to know and learn these superstars like the Casey Catanzaros, the Io Shirai's, and stuff like that, who are now coming into the scene now. If you guys want to follow Who Got Next on Twitter, it's at Who Got Next Pod. Patreon.com/Who Got Next. We have our own Patreon chat if you just want to talk about Who Got Next stuff or NXT stuff, I should say. So definitely make sure you go out and support us over there.
Issa, you run an amazing YouTube show where you asked to get your Bob's and Vagana showed. What is the YouTube?
My YouTube channel has just turned into the Becky Lynch reaction channel because that's the only thing I want to watch every week. So anyways.
Like Issa's frozen on my screen. Is she frozen?
Issa is frozen on my screen.
It's my God. It looks like she hasn't been paying attention the whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
She's the aunt of this week. Hold on.
Last week
I'm taking a picture.
Really fucking interested. This week she looks like she don't give a fuck.
Yep.
What the hell?
I'm sending you a picture right now. Continue plugging your show. You'll get it in a second.
YouTube.com/WWE Demon Diva. Go subscribe. We're this close to 3,000 subscribers.
Get there. Get her there. 3,000. And guys, I'm telling you, go follow Twitch, RWA World, because we're going to get our live show there. So if you can't be or you're not invited to the gala, you can watch it live. No after show this week. The Patreons know why.
I saw the picture.
The picture is great.
You're still frozen on our screen. Let that be noted.
You're still frozen, which is amazing.
Great. This is great.
I'm like, is she asleep? Is she asleep?
I thought she was just putting her hat down because she wants people to subscribe to PewDiePie.
Or is she frozen?
Subscribe to Pew.
She's asleep? Or is she frozen? Spoiler alert. She's asleep. But, yeah, no after show this week, guys, but we'll have a bunch of content. Tomorrow night, me and G-Rob will record E is for Elite. Then I will record Ranting Royalty. Then I will be on Twitch. It's a very Rant with Ant Friday. Sunday, the new episode is the E is for Elite will be coming out. And, go listen to it. So you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday covered with Rant with Ant. If you get bored on YouTube, subscribe to Demon Diva. We have you all covered. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for not saying any hateful things for me, because I don't want to block anyone on Twitter, because I don't even have a Twitter anymore. Or a Snapchat. Barely a Facebook. I don't have any social media. So thank you for not making me not have social media. Phil, where can they follow you at social media? At 0.
Facts, my guy.
Yes.
F in the chat for respect.
F in the chat for respect. Thanks, guys. We're going to go watch the AEW Double or Nothing press conference now. Thank you for joining, and thank you for keeping wrestling real.
Kawaii, so kawaii.
Adios.
Still frozen. Is she asleep? Or is she frozen? Spoiler. She's asleep.
What number is this?
24.
That ended up being a great show.
That was fun.
Phil, you're fucking wrong.